Good morning, everybody. A twit sells a Twitter tweet. What would you do for sushi? Find out all this and more this morning on The Morning Laugh.
Good morning, everybody. This is Josh Novey here with The Morning Laugh. I want to introduce you to some of my best friends. Give a big welcome to Brian Kohatsu.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Brian. Give a good morning to Mike James.
Howdy, fellas.
And give a big old howdy to Chris Wineland.
I have coffee.
Yay.
Welcome to the show, guys. Is everyone happy?
Thanks for having me.
I have coffee too, but I'm not bragging about it.
I have coffee too, and I'm going to brag about it later on because it's special coffee. I mean, not like there's something in it, but
it was made with love.
Yeah, it was.
Josh can brag though. Josh, you bought a brand new, or you acquired in some way
Yeah,
a brand new.
We were gifted an espresso maker, and it's a fancy one. I've had cars that cost way less than this one, and anyways, so that's what. So today I got I did a latte.
You have cars that cost less than a free coffee maker?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I'll be honest, guys. As you all know, I don't drink coffee. So what exactly is espresso?
So espresso is like a concentrated shot of coffee. And then so what you do is you can take that and then you can make other things with it. You can make lattes, or you can make or you can make coffee with it.
So it's like Rice Krispies. You can make a variety of things with it.
Correct.
Okay.
But imagine that you had a Rice Krispie maker at home.
Are they making those now?
I want a home Rice Krispie. You just put rice in it and it crisps it.
Yeah.
Right. It's in the same aisle as air fryers.
And then you just walk around telling everybody like you're eating like a bowl of cereal, and they're like, "Is that Rice Krispie?" Like, yeah, but it's better than yours.
It's homemade. It's from a machine.
It's right next to my marshmallow maker. Anyway, there's your disposable income.
Yeah.
Keep it next to Mr. Butter. It's an automatic churner.
That's what I do with my stimulus check, boys.
Well, all right, let's get into this, guys. Good morning. Let's talk about. I want to talk about this first thing. Jack Dorsey sells the very first tweet for $2.9 million.
Okay, huge mistake he made. Whoever bought that, huge mistake. They posted it online, so now we all have it.
Man,
Yeah,
like
that is
really
my
diminished the value of it.
okay. That is my question. It's a dumb question, I'm sure, but is he just printing it out and then handing it to somebody?
He printed it out.
well, so what it is? It is they sell it as a non-fungible token. So it's also what I know is that there's no funging whatsoever.
Okay. So it's non-fungible. Even if you wanted to funge it, you couldn't.
Well, it's serious. It's no fun.
Yeah. So I actually don't know what that means, but I do know that apparently whoever bought it owns the tweet now, so they can retweet it. I don't.
So
what does that even mean?
Josh, I think what Josh is trying to say, like, so for instance, if you're watching a movie and it appears in a movie, he can make some money now off that, or any kind of
But it's not copyrighted.
or a song, maybe. It can be licensed out now on T-shirts.
If the tweet shows up in a song, just make him up for Twitter.
Just make my first Twitter. When did he tweet? What is it?
I think
That was the tweet.
that was.
What was the first tweet?
Let's find out. I'm gonna do a little.
I don't know if Josh is going to be in copyright violation by reading it.
It's not. That's the thing. It's not copyrighted.
Yeah, just
That's the
setting
thing about these NFT things. They're not copyrighted. Anybody can use them whenever.
Whoa! Are you saying that this story is ridiculous, Mike?
Somehow they've used the blockchain technology for cryptocurrency and all that other stuff to authenticate a digital copy of something.
So is
being
this
the first and the original?
So let me ask you this,
because it's digital. It is ridiculous.
But is this kind of the equivalent to sports paraphernalia that gets sold? You know,
it is. It's very similar to that. However, it's digital, and
but
so
it's
there's no original.
But it's collectible in the way like it's like the Bitcoin version of memorabilia.
Well, not the Bitcoin, but it's a digital version. It's like memorabilia of digital content.
Yeah. Is it Bitcoin like? So like a currency type?
It uses the same technology as Bitcoin to authenticate it, but it's not a currency.
Okay, I'm trying to talk for the lame people. It's like
it is similar. It is similar to Bitcoin in that it uses the same technology.
Basically, if you look at let me bring up some code.
Guys, we just lost all of our viewers.
Line 47, Brian, clearly states the difference.
No, you don't understand that Bitcoin is like the future of technology.
If you say it's like Bitcoin, it makes it sound like it's somehow like an exchangeable currency.
Well,
I don't know.
Nobody knows what Bitcoin is in terms of how it's exchangeable anyway. So again,
listen,
none of our audience.
I just looked it up, and the very first Twitter, of course, was just setting up my first Twitter, TWTR, which is what you were saying. So
right.
I'm gonna print it myself, and I'm gonna sell it for like $1 million, and then, in fact, after that, I'm gonna sell my own first Twitters and tweets. So I'm still not seeing the value here. But
I think we're on board with that, Chris.
What if the four of us we take all our money, we put it all together, and then we buy like maybe somebody's we go to Facebook the yard sale thing, and then we buy somebody's first post, like that. And we'll own all the first posts.
Carmen Milton says it's like buying a piece of chewed bubble gum.
Yeah,
that's there. That's what I was trying to say.
Except in this case, you're buying the picture of a chewed bubble gum.
Did you see that Corey?
Yeah, I was just gonna put it up.
Corey says, based on our images here, the 4 stages of beardedness. Josh is adolescence, clean shaven. Mike is unemployment. Brian is costume phase. And Chris is dodging child support in Alaska.
In Alaska.
That's hilarious.
That's perfect.
On behalf of all of us, Corey, at least we can grow facial hair.
Boom. Okay.
No disrespect, Corey. I love you.
No. Actually, do you guys get in trouble? I get in trouble a lot because my fiance doesn't like that how my facial hair is. It's irritating to her, so I shave. Constantly. I like when I was in the army, I had to shave twice a day just to have like a clean shaven face. Wow. And I shaved last night. This is literally last night's.
I will say, Josh, I'd asked you to send me a picture of you recording, and you sent me the picture, and I was shocked at how much stubble you had. I'd never seen you with stubble before.
That was like a day. Yeah. That was maybe a day of not shaving.
Well, listen, you think that's bad? I shaved last night as well.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. I had the Tim Allen, the Tim Allen Santa Claus deal. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, oh no,
Santa Clausitis, they call that.
I have Santa Claus too. I have the same thing. That's why I'm fat. I keep on no matter what I eat. I turn into Santa Claus.
My wife as well, Josh, she dislikes it if I don't shave, so she's not up yet, obviously.
my wife basically says, because the way I trim my beard, she says you're pokey.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what we I made a decision. Leslie says that it's irritating. It feels harsh to kiss her when I have whiskers, and so I like to kiss her, and I don't doesn't bother me. So, anyways, how about you, Chris? Why did you grow the beard out? What was the reasoning behind that?
I'll tell you the reason. Because I looked like a baby. I was like 24. I had never been able to grow facial hair in my life, and I'm on the road, and all of a sudden, I think I just woke up one morning and there was stubble for the first time ever, and I was like, "Whoa! I don't look like a tiny little baby." And so I just kept growing it to see what would happen. Nobody told me to comb it. So I actually looked like a homeless kind of crazy person for a while. And then I learned to comb it. But then listen to this, a year later, I had friends on the road with me. We were touring, and it was a friend of mine, Lauren Doyle. And she said, you should just shave it again. I'm sure it's not an issue. Just shave it. You know, we can all remember what you look like before the beard. So I shaved it all. And I walked out, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, no, that's the worst thing you could have ever done." So since then, I was like, "That's it. I'll keep my beard forever. I'll never shave it." That's the story.
I like how you're like, "Well, I had it, and then I look like a homeless guy." It was like from then until now.
That's a little bit more combed, sir. I'm a little bit more.
That is just it. I thought you said you were on the road, and somebody suggested to you, this is a comb. There's no rule against combing through it.
Yeah.
Actually, I will tell you this. What helped it was I was working in a studio where everybody had a beard and they all looked really good. And so I walked in, my beard was like this at the time. And I'm seeing everybody and in the middle of conversations, they're all combing it. It's like 6 guys, beard just combing it. And I sat there and I was like, I'm doing life wrong for sure. And then I left and I was like, I'm gonna comb my beard. So that's it. That's my story.
That's weird. Your origin story, Chris, is it needs more like nuclear waste. That's all I'm saying. It just needs more.
Some kind of animal bite.
Yeah.
An insect bite. Yeah. Or a visit from some alien technology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or like you're from another planet. You know?
Yeah. I agree with Norm. I grow a beard because I am neither a woman or a child. I don't think we can say that in 2021, Norm.
No, but that's a better origin story right there.
That's true. That's true. I think my origin story was exciting.
Speaking of origin story, did anybody get the chance to watch the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League?
Not yet. Don't ruin it for me.
Well, here's my. Do we want to give our takes on it? Because my take is that it is vastly better than the other one, but it still had glaring flaws.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. I don't know that I would say vastly better. I think it was better, a little more interesting, but it still had glaring flaws. Like a lot of like, wait, what happened?
Yeah. There was a lot of people looking off into the distance, and it seemed like there was a good hour that they could have cut of people being like.
It's true.
That's
agree
what
with
DC
that.
stands for, distance cut.
There's a lot of that thing you hate about action movies where they're running from the zombies for their lives. They can't stop for half a second unless they stop to stare into each other's eyes.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that style of editing for some reason.
Yeah. I will say, I think I think one of my favorite things, obviously there's like a lot of good stuff that happened in the movie that I think was much better than the first one, the original cut. But I really like the Barry Allen, the Flash origin stuff that they did. I thought that was really well done.
That's cool. My question is this, because you guys saw it, I haven't seen it yet. But is this just the excuse of DC? Every time that they bomb, they just say, "Well, you should have seen the full version," because they did that with Batman vs Superman, and they did it with another movie. I forget which. I think it was even No, it was
Lake House.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
So here's the thing:
you like Keanu Reeves. You should have seen the whole version. He turned into John Wick.
I think they do that, Chris. But they've been this time. I've already come out with yet another version. It's the Zack Snyder cut, all black and white. I'm not kidding. That's Which, really? By the way, if you're interested in anybody, you can also get the same if you watch it on a very old TV.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Superman still with his mustache cut. Is that available? I will say this. Chris, I did not watch it yet. I am waiting. When I have 4 hours on my deathbed is when I plan on watching it. So
I watched it as if I was watching a mini series. I didn't watch it all in one take. I watched it over the course of a few days.
That's what.
Who has time to watch 4 hours?
Is it true that they added Woody Allen in that too?
They did. It was very.
But he didn't get to talk. It was Mia Farrow explaining what he was doing the whole time.
Yeah. It's like, why won't you let me say something?
It was Mia Farrow's perspective and only her point of view the whole time.
Yeah. It was weird because he had to like be on the other side of Gal Gadot every scene. He couldn't be anywhere near her. So,
well, that's actually the other version of the Justice League that we haven't seen. So they say if you don't like this Snyders version, there's also a Allen v. Justice League version coming up. It'll happen.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on from that topic.
Yeah, and let's get out of that, guys. Corey says, "Oh my gosh, director's cut of Justice League. Like the way you're narrowing your audience, ladies, they're single. First of all, we're not.
Believe it or not.
I know. I don't know how. I have no idea.
We're still confused."
Listen, I tell you guys, listen, every day I thank God for blessing me with such an amazing woman. And I can't believe that he is able to bless me while at the same time punishing her. And I think that's just so amazing. What a phenomenal Lord we worship. All right. Oh, have you guys seen this one? People in Taiwan are changing their names for free sushi.
I don't think there's a food I would change my name for.
Well,
really?
Well,
I would do it.
Really?
I would change my name to Hot Wing.
Well, wait, yeah, that's the. Do we have to change it to sushi?
So there's a restaurant sushi. There's a sushi restaurant, and they're offering meals and 50% discount. So they're offering free meals to anyone who has the name salmon, and a discount to anyone who has the names that are similar to fish. And so people are changing their names to get free sushi. But here's the catch: is that apparently in Taiwan you can only change your name 3 times. So some people are stuck with that name forever.
That actually happened to my friend, the incredible Mr. Limpet.
Yeah.
But the guy eats like a king, let me tell you.
I'll be honest with you. If I was in the right mood at the right day, I would change my name to whatever you wanted for some hot wings or pizza or whatever.
But it's fish, Mike.
Okay.
Like here's a good name for Mike. Mike, if you wanted free sushi, you should change your name to a Vagoda.
That's very much like fish.
Because if you know what I'm saying, he played.
I know
fish.
what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'll tell you what. I feel bad for anybody that changed their name to Crabs. Anybody like that. That's just.
What do you think? Anyone changed their name to Wanda? And they're like, dude, technically. I don't know why they're in Taiwanese and they have like a New York. Technically, it's a fish.
Hey, look at me, I'm Taiwanese.
Hey, give me some sushi.
I'll tell you, this is an unpopular opinion. I would change it for anything. If somebody said, "Listen, change your name and you'll get anything for free," I'm done. I'm in. It sounds great. There's enough fish out there.
Next week, Chris's name's gonna be K-Cup.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah,
and I will be Bleach McSpaghetti Taco.
You say Bleach McCut-Up Spaghetti McTaco?
Yes,
that's a good one. And
it's a family name.
Yeah. What would you change your name? Like if someone was like, Josh, what would you change? I think it'd have to be something about cheesecake. That would probably be my sushi restaurant. If it was like Cheesecake Factory Novey.
Well, listen, I don't think you guys have to name it the worst title that you could come up with. Like, even with sushi, they said just pick a fish. There's tons of fish you could choose. You don't have to just be like, now my name is Fish Head Egg Face. Like, you're not really helping your own self out.
In a heartbeat, I would change my name then to Squid. What's up, Squid? Hey, guys. That's the only sushi I'll eat is squid.
Shark. And then shark.
Your origin story song.
Yeah.
Shark.
Yeah, you can change. You can change your name to Tuna Fay.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah. Any other ones? Do we get?
Tuna Fay is great.
But I claim rights to Josh's first name change, and I'm going to sell it for $1 million.
Yeah. Done. I think that's valuable. That's valuable. In fact, I will change my name. I will absolutely change my name for $1 million right here. I say it right here, right now. $1 million. Let's do it.
Have you seen those things where people get paid to tattoo things on their forehead?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a guy that got didn't he get put in jail because he was making homeless people do that?
I don't know. How much are they paying?
Not much. Yeah, there was a thing where people would get like restaurants or whatever tattooed on their forehead, and then the restaurant would immediately go out of business.
Don't forget too, if you've got some state pride, you can always put the your state on your forehead too.
Oh, that's right, I forgot.
The Florida guy did.
Florida guy.
I would put Arizona on my forehead.
Go back to that picture. Let's see. Wow, that it kind of looks. I mean, it looks like a birthmark. Is it a birthmark?
It does. It looks like a birthmark.
No,
It's not.
I know it's not a birthmark, but
it looks like.
If you guys recall, the most famous tattoo ever on a head was Gorbachev.
Yeah,
that was Gilligan's Island. People don't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I think I would.
Thanks a lot for that.
I think I would not be if I were to have to change my name, I'd try to keep it somewhere similar. So the sushi thing, maybe I'd go with like Pike James.
Oh, I like that.
You should be like Pike Rainier.
I think I would go with I don't know, like lionfish. I would just kind of take a left turn and pick something epic.
He's like, I'd be like Pike James. I'd be like Tuna Fay. I'd be Pike Fish. Pike Fish.
Nobody went for like dinosaur. Like I'm Dinosaur Brian. Here comes Dinosaur Brian. Rah.
Wait, can we go back to the tattoo situation? Because there was some drama in Chicago when I lived there. Can I?
Oh yeah.
Share something?
Please.
So there was a hot dog shop. I forget the name of it. It's not like Portillo's or anything. It was like a one hot dog shop that was super, super popular in Chicago. And the owner made this thing for years where he said, if you get a tattoo of our logo, you'll get free hot dogs for life at our place. So there were hundreds of people that went and got the logo. I mean, hundreds in Chicago. They went, got the logo tattoo. Some were, kind of visible. And then they would go in and get all these free hot dogs. Well, the guy all of a sudden decided he didn't want to own the shop anymore, and he wanted to become an actor. So he closed down the shop. He didn't sell it. He didn't give it to anybody. He just decided to close it down. Well, hundreds of people got all upset because they were like, dude, what are we going to do? Now we have a logo. And he was like, I don't know. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. And apparently there's hundreds of hot dog logo tattoo people that are just walking around Chicago angry because they have nothing to live for anymore.
That's funny.
What was the name of the place?
I think it was Pike James.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Pike Place Market.
Wow,
that's weird.
Would you? Well, I don't know. If you got a discount, let's say if you got a 10% discount at Target, would you get a tattoo of Target?
No.
Well, technically, that's a bullseye. So I'm all for it. Walmart back tattoo. There you go.
There's a gal I remember. This went all over the internet a few years ago. GoldenPalace.com. I think it was like an online gambling thing or something.
Yep.
You got it right across her forehead.
Well, that's that was along the same time too that a lot of boxers were putting whatever.com kind of tattooed on their backs.
Yeah.
While they were fighting.
They got the tattoo while they were fighting. That's dangerous.
While they were fighting, they're getting.
The guy's like, "Stop moving, please!" Oh God.
Back when boxing was really interesting to watch.
Just based on pure passion for the product, what brand would you be willing to tattoo onto your body?
Norm says it was hot dogs in Chicago. I was going to say hot dogs, but I didn't want to say it.
What kind of brand? What brand would you be willing to just for pure loyalty and passion for a product? If you had to get something branded on you, what would you do?
Well, for me, it would be hard to pick the actual company, but my favorite thing, like this is a weakness, I've interrupted comedy shows while getting into this, is just chocolate chip cookies. So I would totally get a chocolate chip cookie. I literally interrupted a show because they had free cookies, and I had somebody hand me 3 cookies, and I sat there and I ate. I was like, this isn't even a bit. I just really want a cookie right now.
So would you do Chips Ahoy or something? I've told many people this when you're on the road traveling around doing a lot of like casino gigs. A lot of times they give you for your food, you get the buffet.
Yeah,
ones for the buffet. And every time I go to a casino buffet, I always try the chocolate chip cookies. And even the worst buffets out there in casinos, they usually have really good chocolate chip cookies.
That's pretty good. I'll have to try.
So you would do some chocolate chip cookie manufacturer, Brian?
Pink macaroni and cheese.
Kraft macaroni and cheese. To be exact. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know, Panda Express, just because I like a little bit of baby panda.
Oh yeah.
A little tattoo of a baby panda with chopsticks.
I would do Frank's hot sauce because I love Frank's hot sauce. I put it on everything.
You should, please. I will pay for it if you get Frank's hot sauce.
I really honestly would be willing, if I wouldn't get in so much trouble from my wife, I'd be willing to get a Frank's hot sauce tattoo. Josh, how about you?
I probably a guitar company. I'd probably go like Washburn or Taylor or Fender or something like that. That'd be what I would do.
All right. Well, we've answered that question.
I like to see that, Mike.
Fanfare.
Mike, do you have any tattoos?
I do have a tattoo.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because
I like how you're afraid to ask what it is or where.
I don't want to know.
Okay, well, we'll let that go then.
Okay, all right. Oh, this is the way you said it. I do have a tattoo. You don't want to know where it's at, though.
It's on the bottom of my foot. It says Mike was here. It says it backwards, so if I leave a footprint, you can.
Yeah.
How hard do you walk?
Do you guys have tattoos? I have 3. I think I have 3. I have a dog print, my old dog's paw print on this arm right here, and then I got the old American flag over here. Old Glory. Then I have a Star of David on the back.
On your lower back?
On my lower back. It's
I have it's funny you have a Star of David on your upper back. I have a cross on my upper back with in Latin it says Father and Son for eternity. And I would never have gotten a tattoo, but my younger son, when he turned 21, I think it was, he wanted to get a tattoo, and he wanted me and him and his brother, so all 3 of the guys, to get the same tattoo. So we went in together to do it. My wife was very unpleased.
The 3 of you had this opportunity, and you didn't go with like a Three's Company theme.
Someone knocking on my door. That's on the bottom of my other foot.
Jack, Christy,
you didn't go with like a Father, Son, and Holy Ghost like theme.
It says Father, Son for eternity.
I know. I'm just saying, like, what you could one of your boys could have been the Holy Ghost.
Right.
What if you and Jenny suddenly have another child? Now you gotta get another tattoo.
Yeah, then he has to get a tattoo. I think
Chris-
my son Austin. I think he's gonna have his son get the same tattoo eventually.
Oh, that's like tonight. I was like, isn't his kid like 5? That's
Not. I said eventually.
okay. Well,
6.
Wait,
7's more appropriate, but you know.
who has the most out of us? Wait,
I have
Chris, any
3.
tattoos?
I think I do. You have how many do you have, Josh?
3. I have 3.
I have. Let's see. 1, 2, 1.
And Brian, how many do you have?
I don't have any tattoos, but I do have a suspicious mole. That,
Okay, we'll count it as one.
that's
It's shaped like Arizona.
I have a
oddly
couple
enough, it's
things I
shaped
haven't
like
seen the
Gorbachev.
dermatologist about yet, so I don't know if those.
We'll count that for you.
All right.
So then I have 5, which is people wouldn't expect that because I have it like under my shirt and stuff.
They're all under the beard.
Yeah. Well, here's what's crazy. So I have my tattoos under my shirt, and I was working at a pizza place years ago, and I think I only had 1 or 2 tattoos at the time. And but everybody in the pizza place had tattoos like on their face, on their necks, like everywhere. So this guy who buys the pizza, he pulls me aside. He goes, "Hey, you come over here." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like an old guy. He's like in his like 300 years old, something like that. And he's like, "Hey, you are the only person that does not have a tattoo at this place. So I'm giving you a $20 tip." And he handed it to me, and I had tattoos under my shirt, and I was like morally like confused. I was like, I don't know what I should do. But I kept the 20s. He walked out. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Who cares about morals when there's a $20 bill
Right.
waiting for you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I have 5. I have 5.
All right. Well, let's get some morning laugh tattoos then, guys. What do you say?
I'm in.
That's what Norm said. I'll tell you what. Norm said the question is, what do I do if I get a morning laugh logo tattoo? And I'll tell you this, Norm, if you get a tattoo of our logo, you can watch this show for free for life.
Yeah, no more fees.
Yeah.
No more fees.
Never. Yeah.
You'll never have to pay. Unless we eventually make fees, then you will have to.
Yeah. You know.
And then we'll get some coupons for you for hot dogs.
Exactly.
You're invited to our watch party of the new Snyder cut.
So Brian, if you were to get a tattoo, what would you get?
I think if I were to do it, because I've contemplated it a little bit, I think I would get my last name in Japanese somewhere on me.
I'm pretty sure your last name in Japanese is Kohatsu.
Yeah, but it would be spelled in Japanese, not in English.
Where would you get it, Brian?
Probably right on my nose, right here. So everyone would kind of like, hello, my nose is right here.
I think you should get it on the side of your finger so you can do the fake mustache thing.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be good. Or do the whole fake beard thing. Oh, hello. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll think about it. I have a lot of real estate, so I'm gonna sell off sections of my body like a tweet.
I actually knew a guy who didn't have any tattoos until he was about 65, and then he got a bad diagnosis, and he decided to get a tattoo, and then he just kept on getting tattoos until he was covered in tattoos. He was like 75 at the point, and he was just absolutely covered in tattoos. And he's like, I didn't have a single one until I was 65. I decided I'm not going to go to the grave without a tattoo.
Well, Mike's
not Jewish, by the way.
Michael backed me up on this. When we were younger, the only people who had tattoos really were like Navy guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That little anchor thing and huge
or
forearms, by the way.
Yeah.
Huge forearms and anchors on them, and that was it.
Hell's Angels and Popeye were the only two people.
Yeah, those were the only two that had. Yeah, it was always a Navy tattoos with the thing you always see.
Well, even when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, it was still people with earrings were considered bad people.
Yeah.
Guys with earrings, you mean?
No, anybody with earrings. I was walking around thinking that all these women are trying to rob me. You lost, little boy?
Yeah. Well, the meanest woman with earrings, obviously at that time for you, was Joan Collins.
Big earrings.
Long dangling ones.
So that style with the anchors and everything, they call that American traditional. I'm 99% sure that I'm correct on this. I actually just got a tattoo Friday, which sounds crazy, but it's American traditional, and it's the most American thing you could do. I got an eagle. I don't know. Can you see it?
Oh, I can see it.
Wait, hold it right there. Hold on.
Oh.
Go ahead one more time. There we go.
There we go. You see it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
I like it.
I like that you have a compass above it, so you know what direction you're heading at all times.
I like that it's a perched eagle.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's American traditional. That's the style of it.
So what constitutes anything that symbolizes America is American traditional?
Sure. No, it's just that it's an eagle.
But so like a foiled anchor, like a traditional Navy anchor, that wouldn't be American traditional?
It would be most likely if they do the style right.
So American traditional is anchors and eagles. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, and then like Sailor Girls. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But really, you can make anything the style of it. It's like a certain style, like the way that it's
an art style.
Yeah, it's an art style. Yeah.
I when I joined the Navy, within the first year, most of the guys I was stationed with on our ship, all the new guys, they immediately would go and get anchor tattoos on their arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never did that, but they did.
Oh yeah. Same in the Army. As soon as we got to out of basic and into AIT with advanced individual training, then he had a little bit more freedom. And then it was just like guys would go out and get these stupid tattoos. And I remember one guy. So I was a 68 whiskey, which is a medic. And when I started the code, the actual MOS code was 91 whiskey. And so this guy went out and he got a skeleton with a beret on it, and it said, and he thought it was going to say 91 whiskey on it, but it said 84 whiskey with the W, 84W, and then the beret was like French, and we absolutely just made fun of him constantly because he's.
Well, speaking of being made fun of, I started watching the John Denver documentary.
Oh,
it's actually really good. It was good. It was just one movie. It's a short movie, but I watched it in 2 parts, like the Snyder cut, the Josh Snyder cut. I've been watching it in black and white too.
So how was it? How does it end, Mike?
He plummets to his death in an experimental aircraft. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but that's what happened. 1997. It's actually good. It's interesting because I knew most of the story, but you forget about all that good music he did. You know who else I've been watching is the Partridge Family. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I went back and started watching the Partridge Family series, and they had a lot of great songs too. I mean, like big hit songs. It wasn't like the Brady Bunch where they decided to create a group later on.
Yeah,
they had some really good songs and a few albums. I think it was only Shirley Jones and David Cassidy that actually sang. The rest pretended.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw a David Cassidy movie, and it was really disturbing. And it was him and a bunch of moms, basically, in the 70s, and they all just wanted to date him. And that was it.
Yeah, that's the Partridge Family.
Yeah.
That is the story. I think episode 3 of that's the whole gist of him trying to dodge girls wanting to date him.
Yeah.
So
funny.
Years ago, I had an opportunity to get free tickets to see David Cassidy. This was a few years ago. Mike, this was from Tad. Tad sent me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was like, the novelty of it, I would be curious to go, but I can't. So there's somebody I used to work along with, and they said they would take the tickets, and they did. And they said it was a train wreck and a half. But then it wouldn't be till years later you discovered that he would had severe alcoholism and then dementia was starting. But she said it was just they'd started
a year or 2 ago, right?
A little bit longer now, but yeah.
He's actually sang one of the best versions of "Ain't No Sunshine." I mean, Bill Withers did it perfectly, but David Cassidy actually has a really good version.
David Cassidy, I think that really great kind of husky voice sounding. check out the Partridge Family.
Like Annette Bening. Never mind.
Hey, just a little weird note here. When I started my radio career, I actually replaced Danny Bonaduce. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. What?
It's on my resume. That's what they say when I come to stage.
Resume. I replaced Danny Bonaduce.
Yeah. It's not on the top of the list, but it's on the list.
Special skills: replacing Danny Bonaduce.
If you need to replace him, call me up.
I'm the guy. So since we're talking a little bit of TV nostalgia, I could not go this episode without mentioning that William Shatner turned 90 the other day.
Wow.
Yeah. Captain Kirk's 90.
Wow.
Crazy. Did you hear what he's doing with the AI thing?
No.
They're putting so this company is doing a thing where he is telling all his memories into this. They'll put it on this database, depending on where you live. And you can ask him questions, and then he will tell you, like, I remember it was a sunny morning. I woke up. That's when I discovered coffee, or something riveting like that.
No.
I don't know.
Brian, that might be the best Shatner I've ever heard. That is not an imitation of that other guy. Then,
Kevin Pollak.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Pollock's imitations. I would not go to the store.
I have this fascination now with celebrities, young and old. So Shatner, when he was younger, was like, "What are you doing to my ship?" Right? And then as he got older, he became more like this. And I don't know what that's about.
He did.
It's weird. They're like they're like 2 octaves below where they used to be, and they're slower.
I want to go back to the first problem with him downloading all of his stories and memories to AI. It's going to take at least 10 years. Have you ever heard that guy tell a story? I love him, but he is just, going to just talk forever. And the robot's going to be like, you got to stop. Like, we're only on story 1. And it's been 3 weeks already. I can't keep.
I think it's his family and friends that have said, why don't you talk into this machine instead?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Hey, Bill, you like the camera look over there? Okay, what do you want me to say? Well, tell us what you did today. I didn't get to bed early last night, and so I decided to wake up. Then time elapsed, and that's when I discovered coffee.
Yeah. Have you seen his show? It only lasted a few episodes, and it was like a talk show, I think, on HBO, where he interviewed like Tim Allen and a bunch of other people. I watched it, and the best part is he just kept talking about himself. He really never asked any questions.
There's a
question that he talked about himself.
There's a documentary called The Captains that he's the host of.
Yeah,
and he was interviewing Chris Pine. This was so weird because I just happened to see all these things they were talking about. There was an old movie with Shatner who played this guy who just got out of jail, kind of a con man, but he's on this train and something happens and the train is out of control and it won't stop. It's a runaway train. Yeah,
with Keanu Reeves, Speed.
Yeah.
So anyways, Shatner is the only one for some reason that can stop the train. So there's shots of Shatner on top of this train as it's going, right? Well, he's interviewing Chris Pine, and Chris Pine starts talking about that movie he did with Denzel Washington with the runaway train. And he's like, I did a movie just like that when I was young, right? And they're talking about, I'm thinking, what are the similarities that these two would be in runaway train movies? And they both played Captain Kirk. But Shatner was telling a great story of like, they said, get on the train. We'll go slow. And then he said, they were like, speed it up. He goes, before I know it, we're going 50 miles an hour. And I'm on the train. And it's pretty cool to see Shatner. He was the Chuck Norris of his time. He was on that train.
Wow.
So,
Chris Pine's the one that played Captain Kirk in the early years, right? Oh, and also played Wonder Woman's boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah,
that would be one.
Oh.
So, a lot of people say that he gets his good looks from me. And so they say, Chris Pine is like he's like an old Josh Novey. And,
Mike, you mentioned Steve Trevor, and of course that brings us to the time of the show where we talk about Lyle Wagner.
That point in the show. What are we talking about?
As we do with every show, 45 minutes in, Lyle Wagner update. He did pass away. Wagner, his whole thing was Lyle Wagner, it was also on the Carol Burnett show. He actually star wagons. So like on all the sets, I'll be in my trailer, Lyle Wagner's company. Wagner. Star Wagons? What did I say? I said it right the first time. I don't remember. It's early.
This is also the part of the show where all the references that are said are beyond me. So
Lyle Wagner was the really handsome, good-looking one on the Carol Burnett show.
Okay.
But he was rarely on.
He was like the Harvey Korman, but whatever, Mike.
No, like Harvey Korman kind of took over that role later on. It seems. I don't know. Lyle Wagner, I feel like he was very rarely there, or if maybe he was just there for the first season or something. I don't know.
No, he was later seasons. But I will say this: do you ever see this? There's a screen test for the original Batman series with Lyle Wagner as Bruce.
Oh, really?
As Batman, yeah. Speaking of Shatner-esque, we're right into Adam West. So
yeah.
Anyways, hey, so bringing us all the way back around, there's a artist, a graphic artist named Beeple, Beeple, who sold an NFT for $69.3 million.
He sold a what?
An NFT, a non-fungible funging.
He created originally. A lot of people don't know this, but by SpongeBob SquarePants.
He created a digital art piece and sold it for $69 million.
Now, can we print that out too?
It's digital, so everybody that has it has the exact copy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he just sold someone the PDF file of it, or how does that work?
I don't know.
But the resolution's really high.
Yeah, exactly.
Sold the PDF file, but it was really high resolution.
It was really good. It was like really good. You could
like zoom way in.
What would you? Oh man,
you and I we all got to figure out what NFTs we have, and then sell them.
Yes.
Apparently,
Yes.
I have PDFs of everything. I think we have a PDF of our show notes. To be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, so apparently, the NFT is just anything that you've created digitally, and then it is sellable. So apparently, a Mets player just sold his first tweet NFT for an unspecified amount of money, maybe $5. I don't know. We'll see.
That's the key there, though. You sell it for an unspecified amount. That way, it sounds really, really, great, but it's unspecified.
Yeah,
that's how I brag about all my yard sales. Yeah, I sold a ladder for an unspecified amount. On brag.
I don't want to brag. It's not. I'm not like a braggy person, but
I had a coffee cup that said "I hate Mondays." It went for a substantial amount. I'm not going to talk about.
This large orange cat came over and offered a lot of money for this "I hate Mondays" coffee cup.
If I had to give it a ballpark, I'm going to say it's over $1, but I'm not going to say anything more. So
I'm gonna keep it unspecified.
Unspecified.
You know what I used to do is back when I was on the road and single, because Leslie will not let me do this anymore. I used to collect coffee cups from different places that I would visit, and I would just either go to a thrift store or something. I would get like weird coffee cups.
Cool.
It's funny you say that. When I years ago, as I was on the road, just traveling all over the country, all these different cities and unusual places, I would buy my wife a T-shirt from that place, thinking, she'd wear this at night. She doesn't wear T-shirts much, but she'd wear them at night or whatever for bed. And I was only like, I don't know, 5 or 6 T-shirts in from different places, and she goes, "So I don't want these T-shirts." And she's like, "I don't wear T-shirts, and I don't know where to put them, and I don't need, 87 night shirts." Okay, good point.
Well, I do something sort of weird, I guess you could say. Every show or production that I've ever worked with, I grab their coffee mugs, with their logo on it. So every show, every production, I have it. Well, I was working for a show, and I noticed that they had their logo on a coffee mug. And so right when I started, like the first day, I was in with the financiers, and they were just getting all the things ready for like making sure I got my paychecks and all that. And I said, "Hey, You're the only desk I've seen with the show's logo on a coffee mug. And she's like, yeah, no, they don't hand it out anymore. And I was like, oh, well, like I really want one. And she's like, oh, I guess if you want mine, you can have it. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I just took it. Like I could tell she didn't want me to have it, and now I have it. So I don't know. I'm terrible, but I have every show.
Yeah. So guys, Chris is just lying to people to get $20 bills about his tattoo.
I like the idea that Chris just goes to somebody's house and goes, hey, I'd like to have a coffee mug with your name on it. I don't have any, but I want one.
Yeah, for real. You guys got to pray for me. I got issues, man.
I also need a plate, a salad bowl, a knife.
He just goes to place. This is a nice plate.
And do you have a 20-inch air filter for an AC unit? Because I need one of those.
It's a nice wall.
But I want one.
How you got Micah? You just walked up. You're like, I wish I had a wife.
Yeah, that's like,
again.
I want. I wish you would marry me, but I want you to. That was his proposal. I want you to.
Chris pulls up to every gig with like a trailer attached to it. Whatever you can put in it, that's fine.
Norm said I have a flash drive that belongs to him too. I'm sure that's true. I'm pretty confident. But wait, I haven't done it yet, but I've been wanting to make a shelf and put all of my, production coffee mugs on it. So eventually one day you guys will come to my house, you'll see it and you go, okay, I get it now. It makes sense. You're not terrible for taking a mug from somebody. You're a good person. You're a good person.
The problem with this is that we're going to walk in and we're going to look at it and go, hey, I really want that mug, Chris. I really do. I really want that one. You're going to have a bare bones shelf afterwards. And then the worst part is we're going to be sitting here drinking with them. So you have to watch us.
Man. Is it what's the weird have you ever been to someone's house except for Chris and asked for something that you felt weird about? I don't like, hey, do you have any like 2% milk that I can use?
Oh, I have not. However, there's this guy that I used to go. He was in the same group of friends, and he went to the same church as us. And we finally kind of connected one night at I can't remember. It was something for the kids at a youth thing, and so we got to talking, and he said, "This is so weird." He was mentioning how he had to go get a haircut the next day or something. I said, "Oh, I can cut your hair. I do that." And he came over that night. We brought the kids back, and I cut his hair. I've never cut hair in my life. And I cut his hair with the clippers, and it looked awful. It was so bad.
The story does not surprise me at all.
No,
Mike,
and he got home, and his wife was so mad because there was just like this like random piece of hair sticking out. And that same night, I offered coffee to him. This is in Washington State, and everybody offered coffee. I didn't think he'd say yes, but he did, and I didn't know how to make coffee, so he had to make his own coffee.
This is why Mike moved.
Yeah,
out of Washington.
Somehow my stories don't sound as bad.
Jim Ramsey, if you're watching, I apologize once again for the bad haircut.
You guys made me seem terrible.
Who among us hasn't given a bad haircut? I mean, honestly.
It's the only haircut I ever gave anybody.
First and last.
Yep.
Can't mess with perfection, Mike.
That's right.
Norm, so this I actually remember this. He went to a live taping of a show I was on next week with Jeff Durbin, and we needed. Apparently, I said I needed a flash drive for some reason, and I do remember taking it, and I don't ever remember bringing it back. So I don't know why it happened, and I apologize to you, Norm. But his birthday was last week, so happy birthday, Norm. Or is this week? So there you go.
Happy birthday, Norm. We hope that you get a flash drive from somebody on this show for your birthday.
Chris is basically saying, "Happy birthday! Thank you for the gift you gave me."
Yeah,
pretty much.
Which really isn't what we do for Christmas. Happy birthday, Jesus! Thanks for the gift.
You guys remember like vinyl record albums? They lasted for a long time, and then after that, there was cassette tapes, and they lasted for not quite as long. And then CDs came out, and that didn't last so long before we had just digital transfer of stuff. But the flash drive seemed like it's really lasting a long time. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
It's quick. It's convenient. Easy to steal, right?
Yeah.
Chris, easy to walk away with.
Yeah. It's easy to lift and put in your pocket. Nobody notices.
Yeah.
It'll be on my shelf with the coffee mugs. So.
It's the last like device we have that shows like the world of spies.
I remember the first time you saw like this one has 256 megabytes of what?
Yeah.
Well, and when it first came out too, it's like $158.
Yeah.
I'll lose this.
Well, now they have those micro SD cards, those tiny teeny.
Yeah.
I hate those things. They're so easy to lose, and so many of the devices you put them in, they don't. You have just got to get them in there just right, or they slip inside the casing.
Yeah,
that's awful. True. Anyway, well,
the
evolution of media. That's next week, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna start wrapping up here in a second. So, hey, does anybody have anything coming up?
I will be in Utah this weekend.
Yes.
Mike.
Finally.
Mike's driver special is upon us.
Yep.
You're all ready to go, right, Mike?
No.
Well, Mike, you could seriously do a couple minutes tonight at our improv show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We will. That's another thing. We will all be at an improv show tonight at Chris's church at Oasis Church in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
For his youth group. What is it? Young adults.
Yeah. If you call it youth group, we get upset. It's young adult.
Yeah, it's young adults. It's people anywhere from the ages of
18 to 30.
18 to 30, but some
it's
people
young adults.
It's a very welcoming church, although they do get very upset if you use the wrong words.
Yeah, we get upset.
Just show your tattoo and you get in for free.
Yeah.
Is that no, not happening? No.
I'm going to get an Oasis church tattoo today for that.
Yeah, it's free if you're a young adult tonight. If you're not a young adult, it's $100 because it's a young adult ministry. So,
Glenn,
we're not allowed to say you can't come legally, but
Glenn says where in Utah? He will be in Provo, Utah, and that's this Friday, right?
Yeah, no, Saturday.
So Saturday in Provo, Utah, he will be doing 2 shows on Saturday. I'm sure that there are still plenty of tickets left.
They're not. It's sold out. Sorry.
Okay. No.
Look at that, Mike.
Good job, Mike. But they do. They do. I think sometimes they do a live stream of the show, so you might be able to catch that too.
Yeah, I don't know how you get that, but I know they do that. I don't. Yeah, both the shows are sold out.
Last I knew, the live stream wasn't being offered at the moment, but keep checking back because it might be. Yeah. Usually it's via Facebook, I believe.
For more information, you'll have to go to drybarcomedy.com and look at their live events.
Okay, Brian, what do you have coming up, bud?
Nothing. No, wait, what do I have coming up? My stuff's so in the future, but yeah, I'm finally starting to get some bookings, but we'll talk closer to the actual dates. But I'm still working on my album right now, my sketch.
Right. So, are you gonna be releasing any like teaser trailers for it?
I think I might. A couple got done. Mike came in and did his stuff the other day. Josh, I haven't gotten your stuff yet, but I know you did it. For some reason, that's misconnecting, not working. And then Chris, we're trying to schedule it to get that. But yeah, I'm getting everything's almost recorded at this point.
I think that's a you guys got on Craigslist and put in misconnections. Josh, I'm still waiting for you to do your part of my album.
Me, Brian.
The guy with the hat.
Yeah, the hat. You, Josh. Weird voice. Okay, so Chris, what are you talking about? I know we have the improv show tonight for your young adults ministry.
Yeah. And then next weekend, which is Easter weekend, I'll be on Clean Comedy USA and at Stir Crazy. And then 2 weeks after, I'll be over in Kansas. So, yeah, things are starting to pick back up, which is nice.
That is nice.
I've got a show in Wyoming in a couple weeks also.
Yeah. Tonight I'll be with the guys at Oasis Church doing the improv. Next weekend, the 2nd of April, I'll be in Dallas, Texas, technically Carrollton, Texas, at doing a show at an American Legion. Follow that on one of our sources. We'll have that posted. And then on April 7th and 8th, I'll be at Stand Up Live opening up for Trey Kennedy. So that's going to be a fun.
Oh, nice. That'll be great.
Yeah. So that's what I have going on. Do you guys have any parting words of wisdom for our viewers?
Yes. This one specifically for you, Josh. See if you can get Trey to give me a coffee mug. Would be great.
Okay.
And kind.
All right, guys. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening to this on our podcast. And we can't wait to have you come back next week and have a tattoo of us on your face.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.